Hello everyone, this is going to be your love and relationship reading for April 2019. I'm going to be doing a 6-card spread using the Gaian Tarot this month. That's what I happen to have on me in here. I'm actually in a shop that I normally work in. So this will be for the rising sign, sun, or moon of every sign that I mention after this is over. And of course, because this is more specific, it may or may not resonate for you. If it doesn't, you may want to check out your other two out of your rising sun and moon, see if any of those resonate more. And I also have been forgetting to mention, you can also look up your Venus sign through these readings as well. You might actually find that your Venus sign rings more true for you than your sun, for instance. So I think I've said it all. Okay. Then I'll see you in a second with your love reading. Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to say that I'm going to be doing, this reading is going to include all 3 options between those of you that are in relationships or coupled or have been in a relationship for a good while, those of you that are single and dating, and those of you who have just met someone or are just completely single. We're going to go into all of those options. So see you in a second. Hello Capricorn, this is going to be your love and relationship reading for April 2019. I hope you guys are well, and we shall see what comes out. This is for Capricorn rising sun and moon for love and relationships for April 2019. Okay. After I pick your 6 cards, I'll show them to you and get started. Ozzy. Okay, I'm going to pick a clarifier and then I'll show you. I'm just trying to figure out the last little bit here. Where is it? It popped out and then it popped back in again, but it's relevant for what came out. So I'll try to make sense out of this for you. Sorry, I'm at the shop today. Okay. I had to pick a ton of clarifiers for this. This seems specific, so it may or may not resonate for you, but I'll try to read it in different ways. So here are your 6 cards. Sorry, I'm just trying to adjust. You have the 6 of Earth, Justice, Bindweed, which is the same thing as the Devil card. This is the Devil card in this deck. Guardian of Water, Explorer of Air. And the 8 of Earth, along with a ton of clarifiers. So, it seems like it takes a curveball turn at the end there. Not necessarily in a bad way, you guys. Okay. So presently, with love and relationships, it looks as if you have either found someone or you're involved with someone where the emotional empathy or sympathy in the relationship is reciprocal, or both people value the relationship and are willing to put in what it takes in order to have this relationship grow. You have the 6 of Earth, which is reciprocity or equal exchange and give and take, which creates growth. And the Guardian of Water, who is a Cancer court card. So this could be a Cancer, doesn't have to be. Could be a water sign, doesn't have to be. But it seems as if there's a focus presently, whether it's needed or not, as in you could feel that this is lacking, and which is why it's a central focus right now, or this is happening now. And that is emotional care and reciprocity in the relationship, where you each do the little things or do the things necessary in order for both of you to feel secure, or both of you to feel as if the energy in the relationship is flowing in a good way without it being one-sided or lopsided. It could also be that somebody watching is in a relationship where you have recently opened up a business with your partner. This could be a market stand like in the picture. It could be a restaurant, could be a cafe, could be something Cancer related. If this is the case for someone watching, it looks as if your business is going to grow really nicely and that you're off to a really good start with this together. And also to strike a balance between jobs, money, or career in with nurturing the relationship, where any given area of your life is not being fed more than any of the others, and where you can pour enough energy into all of the different spheres in your life, not just relationships. So it looks pretty good in the future. Oh, if you are single, it seems as if you are going to meet someone who is a watery or sensitive person at possibly a social gathering or a business. You may meet them at work. You may meet them at their store or at their business where they work. There's something about exchange, or meeting someone at a bazaar or a flea market or some kind of a Saturday market or an outdoor market even. Doesn't have to be though, but it seems as if someone is coming in and you meet them somehow through trade or through work. And in the future, did it come out like that? I guess so. You have Justice with the Explorer of Air. So to me, it seems as if in the future, you're getting practical with communication on how to best have each of your needs met, or how to balance the relationship. If you feel as if something has been unbalanced, or you would like to focus on balancing out the relationship even more than it already is, it seems as though both of you are doing a lot of talking about it, or both of you are opening up a dialogue on how can you best equally feed this relationship, or make sure that things are fair or just in the relationship, or where nobody is having to sacrifice their needs in order to have this relationship. Okay, let's see. I think we were here. I could also say that there may be balance needed with travel. If one of you travels a lot and the other one does not, something about this needs to be balanced a little bit, where there's not so much time with them being busy with other things that the relationship is not being nurtured. Or this could be you. You could be traveling a lot and your partner needs a little bit more balance in the relationship. If you're single, this seems like someone coming in that is extremely intelligent and easy to talk to, and that has learned a lot in their life when it comes to peaceful communication or working differences out or just negotiating in a relationship, rather than they are not the sort of person that likes conflict. They avoid conflict. It's too garish for them. They're very refined people, or a very refined person that doesn't handle conflict very well because it tears them up. And so this is a very positive, uplifting, clear, very communicative person that likes things to be balanced. And you may have just met them. You may be about to meet them, possibly while you're traveling or while you're exploring your environment, or exploring social situations too, where you're meeting new people, you're getting to talk with a lot of different people, and you somehow find this person that way. So, in the future, you have bindweed over the 8 of Earth, otherwise known as the 8 of Pentacles. So maybe I could read this in so many different ways. I'll try to hit as many of them as possible, but it could be that for some of you, you feel like the relationship is not getting enough energy because you're either having to work all the time, or you're bound by your job, or you're bound by your living situation. Like, hypothetically, let's say one of you lives in a different location. If you're choosing to be together in the future, you may feel trapped by you could feel trapped by a house that you own, or a family situation. If somebody here is divorced or a single parent, you have a life already set up, a career, a job, a living situation, or a family situation that requires you to be there. As in, I don't know, I mean, this could even be you have an elderly parent that you have to take care of and you can't just up and leave, or you can't relocate. And so this may be feeling, you may feel a tiny bit insecure because you're wondering whether or not this is really practically doable in the future with your situation that you've got going on. Or it could be that your partner works a lot, or is bound by a certain job, or has children from a previous marriage, or some kind of an existing situation for them that's set up and they're kind of bound to it. And so if you're going to choose to be with this, you would have to somehow figure out a way to make this work. It could even be that for someone watching, either you're interested in someone who has some addiction issues, whether they smoke cigarettes or they drink, or they're addicted to something, or they're addicted to a certain pattern in their life that they're used to, and something about you coming in shakes that up for them, where they realize they have to address these things, or they have to shift, or they have to learn their lessons so that they can be in the healthiest shape for a relationship, for a healthy relationship. Something. You probably know more than me on what this is, but it feels like a problem to me. It feels like it's definitely a problem, and you're trying to figure out how to make this work, or whether or not this can work. And let me show you your million clarifiers. I'm exaggerating. So your first clarifier is the 5 of Fire, which is conflict. This could be a conflict of personalities. This could be a conflict of interests. This could be a conflict of external situations going on for the two of you. That it needs to be solved or addressed or adjusted in order to make this work. And it's possibly making you feel a little bit frustrated. It seems as though you feel very passionate about this person, but something about this is bringing up a little bit of internal conflict for you or external conflict for you, or you're just feeling conflicted in general about this, on whether or not this can work. It may even be that you guys have a fight or you have a scrap over something, and that makes you worry. So that's one possibility. Part of what you're feeling conflicted by is you're afraid of being left out in the cold, or your partner is afraid of being left out in the cold, or you're afraid to invest your energy and time and commitment in this matter because you're not sure if they will stick around, or whether they'll leave you, or whether or not this is going to work out. There may be some kind of issue with money where you don't feel completely set up yet, or they don't feel completely set up yet, or you're wondering if this is actually going to be able to last or not, or whether it's going to leave. And it seems as though you are emotionally attached to this person now. And so this is bringing up some conflict internally for you. Are you going to end up having your heart broken? Your other two clarifiers, thankfully, are actually rather nice. And for the majority of you that this is actually going on for, it seems as though if you just trust and release and allow things to flow, you would be surprised at what kinds of solutions you can find or what could be worked out about this situation. So don't give up your feelings for this person, or don't give up the initial connection just because of some things going on for you internally, or I think you're getting a little too earthy with this in the future, where you need to allow things to flow and see what happens, and to be brave, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable, or allow yourself to be open to this, even though it's risky. You never know whether you're going to wipe out or whether you're going to make it on that wave. It definitely takes strength and balance and a flexibility and ability to be adaptable. And so if you can try your best to adapt, or to allow yourself to just feel the feelings that you have, and even if this does not for some reason work out for some of you, it's at least an adventure. It's at least opening up your heart in one way or another, and so you might as well enjoy it while it's happening now. And try not to think too much about the practicalities of where things are headed. And your final clarifier is the Nine of Water, or the Nine of Cups. So it seems as though something works out here. Not all is doomed. You know, if you look at this person, he looks like he feels like he's doomed. Or there's no point in struggling because he's never going to get out of there, kind of a feeling. And then if you look real closely at this person inside this shelter, out in the snow or sleet or rain, it looks like, if you look at the expression on their face, they're cold. They're really cold and clenched up. And so try not to allow yourself to get stuck in that state. Or if this is the other person going through this, reassure this other person that you care. They may be doubting whether or not you care about them. But your final clarifier seems as though a wish is granted, or something works out, or something is discovered that helps the situation, where it seems as though perhaps you get, even for some of you, you may just get stuck in psychological or emotional internal mud that really has nothing to do with what's going on too. It could be in your head, but I'm getting it's deeper than just your head. It's a lot of different things, but ultimately it looks as though it works out, and you may actually be pleasantly surprised at where things are taking you or how things can be adjusted. Just remember to be adaptable and try to stay as even-keeled or balanced as possible. Remember that this comes before that. So if for some reason somebody is trying to overcome addictions, it looks as if you make headway, but then you have a backsliding that happens. But that doesn't mean that you can't transform or the other person can't transform, because they can. So hopefully this made sense. If you're completely single, this may be an internal struggle you're dealing with, or even simply a hard time trusting. Even you may have been through setbacks or traumas in the past with relationships that make you almost have PTSD to a certain degree, where you're afraid of that happening again, or you're afraid of being fooled, or of being deserted or something. But balance is the key, internally and externally, and things are not nearly as bad as you fear. So, and if you are single, someone seems to be coming in that is extremely watery, extremely sensitive, emotional, kind, also looks adventurous. They trust their intuition. They have very deep emotions. When this person loves, they love very deeply. And they're extremely sincere. So it seems as though someone's coming in. Just try not to get swamped in this. I'm getting, for a lot of you, this is internal. Or not knowing about what's going to happen, and because of that, it's throwing you off a little bit. So hopefully that helped or made sense for you, and I'll see you soon in the middle of the month for your mystery readings. Okay, bye.